So I was debating if I would or wouldn't do an XDefiant video because let's be honest, everybody and their mama's mama is putting out an XDefiant video. Not only that, but I've done a few XDefiant videos on the channel before, as I'm someone who has been playing XDefiant longer than most, with me taking part in all the closed alphas, all the closed tech tests, all the closed betas, and all the open betas. I've played the game a lot on both PC and console. I say all of this to say I have a ton of experience with the game. I'll be real, a lot of the dialogue around the game has been two types of people. One group of people who are overly positive and glaze the game like crazy, and the other group of people think it's an unbalanced piece of trash. As I often say, everything is just on a spectrum, and the truth of XDefiant is somewhere between those two opinions. For starters, is it the Call of Duty killer? No, there is no such thing as a Call of Duty killer. The only thing that can kill Call of Duty is Call of Duty. As in, if they just stop making them, or if one release that is so bad the game dies, that's the only way Call of Duty will ever be killed. XDefiant isn't killing Call of Duty. It's not replacing Call of Duty. It's the flavor of the month. Anyone who is a Call of Duty fan or returns to Call of Duty once the Black Ops 6 beta starts, and will fully abandon XDefiant once Black Ops releases. There's also going to be a console beta for Valorant. People will flock to that as well. XDefiant is and will be in the same situation as the finals. Yes, different game structures, but what I'm referring to isn't the difference between the two games. I'm referring to the finals hype and it becoming more of an irrelevant game over time. The finals was the talk of the town when it released. Every FPS streamer was playing it, everyone was posting videos about it, and then all of that stopped. The finals kind of socially died, mostly because it did have a hacker problem and people got bored and moved on. There was a lack of content. XDefiant will likely suffer a similar fate. It will be played by streamers, posted by YouTubers, then those people will move on to the next popular thing for views, and then the core players will be still there, but dealing with hackers and unbalanced gameplay, waiting for new game modes and new content. The good thing is, people don't have to wait long for new content. Ubisoft showed the new faction and maps at Ubisoft Forward. The German police faction GSK is inspired by Rainbow Six Siege, so Blitz and IQ vibes will be the next, will be the first add-on class to the game. One of the new maps is an XDefiant version of a Clubhouse, a classic Rainbow Six Siege map. So again, new content is on the way. But what about right now? What's needing going forward? Well, for one, the game needs a TDM mode. You can't have a Twitch shooter without TDM. More modes and variety is always a good thing, and you'll get less people who could care less about objectives in objective-based game modes because they'll have TDM to go play instead. The current state of XDefiant is what you'd expect from a free-to-play video game in 2024. It's bare bones, it has netcode issues, inconsistent gunplay, and not desirable weapon skins nor desirable character skins, and again, balance issues. All this is expected. It is a free-to-play game, and we can't forget about that. Free-to-play live service video game, you can't forget that's what it is. Now, that isn't an excuse. This game has bad performance in netcode. You can't give it any excuses. Ubisoft is a big corporation with the funds, the manpower, and the ability to put out a better product at launch. The game had a number of delays that should have corrected the issues players are experiencing today. So what about the cry of unbalance that's been going on in the community? It is valid. This is a hero shooter at its core, but it's a hero shooter with no restrictions on selection for your team side. You can have an entire team of Echelon, an entire team of Cleaners, an entire team of Phantoms. This is inherently a balance problem. A team of Echelons where all the players are running intel suits could lead to some crazy unfun gameplay. Same goes for Phantoms. Does this mean the Ubisoft should limit the number of factions being selected? No. This isn't Overwatch. This isn't Rainbow Six Siege. Sure, it has objective game modes, but XDefiant is a casual arcade Twitch shooter. Asking them to limit how many people can play one class would have been like asking Treyarch to limit the selection of Black Ops 4. Which, back then, there were some annoying moments of facing a team with a lot of people playing Spectre, but you just dealt with it. So what does Ubisoft do? Well, you balance the factions to where there is no clear best faction. That means potentially nerfing intel suits to where it's useful and good, but not a crutch. Not relied on. Is that nerf a longer cooldown time? Is it a shorter range? Is it removing the ability for your teammates to see the scans themselves? Make it to where only you will see who's pinged by your intel suit? Well, the latter sounds like it wouldn't really matter since the average gamer nowadays plays solo, so they already aren't even trying to use that ability to work with the team. Is for them, not for the teammates. A combination of the first two, though, could be more reasonable, shortening the range and having a longer cooldown time. But again, you have to have a proper balance to where it doesn't kill the intel suit. Developers are usually heavy-handed with nerfs and heavy-handed with buffs. We just saw solos in Rainbow Six Siege get nerfed to irrelevance. We don't need or want that for Echelon. It doesn't, as strong as you may think it is, they don't need to nerf any classes in this game into the ground. But factions aren't the only unbalance in the game. Many people in the community feel that some weapons are also unbalanced. A lot of people don't like one-shot sniper rifles. Personally, I don't hate it or like it. I don't care. I main Phantoms. Phantoms cannot be one-shotted unless it's a headshot. Now, just because I main Phantom doesn't mean that I don't play Echelon or other factions. So I have been grazed by a sniper and died. It is what it is at the end of the day. It's a video game. The only thing one-shot sniping says to me is this isn't a game where sniping has a skill gap. Everybody is good at sniper rifle in this game by default. Now, just because I don't care if it's one shot doesn't mean it's not unbalanced. Things aren't mutually exclusive and two things can exist at the same time. Toning down sniper damage on body shots doesn't hurt anyone. If someone is good at sniping, like actually good at it, it won't bother them because they'll still be hitting headshots and get one-shot kills. It'll only bother those who suck at sniping, who are just relying on hitting someone in the thigh or the toenail and getting that one-shot kill. Then there's shotguns. Some people think shotguns are too weak. I disagree. I think shotguns are in decent position. They suck at range, which in video games they should suck at range. They take 2 shots at mid-range, which again in video game is fair. They fuck up anyone who isn't a Phantom in one shot at close range. Again, fair. The way shotguns are is in a good way for the pace of play of the game. Shotguns being too good will be bad for gameplay and slow down the pace. Much like having too good footstep audio can also hurt the pace of play. If you watch my streams with XDefiant, one of my constant complaints other than netcode is the footstep audio being basically non-existent. More and more FPS titles remove the ability to sound hoard because when a game has loud footsteps, gamers stop moving. Camping becomes rampant because people don't want to be sound hoard. Though that is all understandable, some games like XDefiant, the audio footsteps is too low. You can boost that audio up a little bit and not make gamers scared to move. Campers are going to camp regardless anyways, so you should have some form of audio footsteps to where, at a certain range, you should be able to hear someone loudly. And not to mention, this is an objective-based game, so people are going to have to move anyways to move. So unless they just want to take L's just to take L's, they don't got a choice. Anyways, this video has been long enough. It's not a review. I just want to talk about the current state of XDefiant and the conversations I'm seeing surrounding it. I will not be doing a review because I don't think one is needed. There are so many videos on this game already to where you should have an idea if it is for you or not by now seeing all these videos and watching live streams. I hope the best for XDefiant and its developers. Hope we see some great content, better weapons, and character skins because the ones that are in game are awful. But with all that said, though, that is it for me. Being boy and neighbors gamer Archer. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay safe, be kind to others, free to be kind. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. All the important links, like my Twitch stream, is in the description box below. I'm out of here. Deuces.